So many people bought the Premium Su-30 that I bet guys have made more money than the entire Venezuelan GDP in 2 days. So here's my review of the Russian Premium Su-30 Mark II. First up, this Premium Su-30 has a top speed of 2,304 kilometers per hour at about 12,000 meters in altitude. This translates to about 1,400 miles per hour in freedom units. So this does make it one of the fastest vehicles in the BR, although it is notably lacking the engine improvements that you start to see with the 27SM and 30SM. So it's going to get an 8 out of 10 for its speed rating. Moving on over to agility, just like every other flanker, it's not very good at dogfighting. Sure, you could do some funny tricks, but overall it's not very good. And with the added weight, it makes the Premium Su-30 Mark II even worse. In fact, the Premium Flanker performs worse than the other flankers other than the traditional bombing ones, which aren't really that good at dogfighting to begin with. And other vehicles that you're going to see in this BR like Gripens and F-16s will absolutely dog on you. And this doesn't even take into account that you could face Eurofighters and Rafales. On the bright side, you do get an AOA toggle button, which can help you in some situations, but use it very sparingly because the moment you turn it on, you lose all of your energy and you're a sitting duck. So for its agility, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Moving on over to offense, you could carry a maximum of 10 missiles, which is absolutely fantastic at 13.3, 6 of which could be Fox 3s and you get R77s. To back this up, you also get R73s and R27s. When you're playing the Premium Flanker, I highly suggest that you stick to close range combat. The R77s are pretty much abysmal in long range BVR fights compared to other missiles, although you do have access to R27ERs if you wish to BVR, although since it's a Fox 1, you do have to keep lock, so it gets quite hard to joust against Fox 3s. On top of that, you do get a 30mm Gish cannon, but it only has 150 rounds, so you have to use it very sparingly. So all in all, for offense, you're extremely effective at close to medium ranges, but as soon as you go BVR, it's pretty much over for you. So for offense, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Moving on over to defense, you do get access to 96 split large countermeasures. And I can't really complain about this. Large caliber countermeasures are great, and this is a decent amount for the BR. What is bad though is its RWR. It has massive blind spots on the top and bottom of the aircraft, meaning if someone launches a radar missile from above or below you, you will not know. So for defense, the Premium Su-30 is going to get a 5 out of 10. As for the Premium Su-30's close air support ability, it's a monster, kind of like your uncle under my bed. It gets access to KH-29s, guided bombs, dumb munitions, and the brand new KH-59s. In total, you can carry up to 6 guided missiles, which helps you absolutely decimate the enemy team. The only downside to this Premium Su-30 is the fact that it doesn't get a targeting pod other than the one that it has built in, so your range can be quite limited. I've seen KH-29s lock at about 6 kilometers and KH-59s lock at about 10, which does pose a major issue for this vehicle because it's placed at 13.3 in ground battles also, meaning you're going to face some of the best SPAA in the game. But while testing this vehicle, I didn't have very many issues, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 for CAS. As for its features, it does get flares, chaff, radar, optical detection, RWR, ballistics computer, HMD, an NVD, and fuel dumping, along with an AOA toggle. And you can't forget about the drag parachute for landing, which overall makes it right in the middle of the pack. However, this vehicle does feature a pretty bad RWR that was covered before, and its radar is quite mid for its BR because it's unupgraded. There are a lot of issues with ghost targets, and sometimes it just doesn't even want to lock enemies that are within like 5 kilometers of you sometimes. So for features, I'm going to give this flanker a 4 out of 10. Moving on over to durability, I don't think the Su-30 is very durable at all. For the most part, every time I got some part of me hit, I basically went down. There was no surviving anything, and there was no limping back to base. And most of the time, sometimes missiles would just hit the ground and my wings would just fall off. 2 out of 10 for durability. Moving on to difficulty, the Su-30 is not very difficult at all because it is the epitome of missile thunder. Your R-73s are absolutely goated in close range, and the R-77s are really good in head-ons and close range engagements. The only thing you truly have to worry about is learning how to defend against IRCCM and Fox 3s. And then as long as you stay away from dogfights, this vehicle is pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. As for the fun value, I personally like really light fighters that love to dogfight, and this just isn't it. It is fun to just launch missiles at people sometimes, but that gets really boring when all you're doing is just pointing and clicking. So for me personally, I did not find the Premium Su-30 Mark II to be that fun. So it's going to get a 4 out of 10 on the fun value. And finally, the worth value. This vehicle is one of the most expensive premiums in the game. And when things like the MiG-23ML already exist, which are already time proven, it's quite hard to beat your wallet even more and get this vehicle. Plus, if you're new to top tier, this vehicle is not it for you because there is a huge skill curve. So overall, for its worth value, I'm gonna have to say it's about a 3 out of 10. Sure, it can grind the entire tech tree, but so can other vehicles. This gives the Premium SC30 Mark II an overall score of a 51 out of 100.